Welcome everybody to my Season 7 Irelia guide. In this guide I will try to tell you everything you need to know about Irelia to have a successful game. Why would you even listen to me? I am currently a Platinum player with a 66% Irelia win rate. In fact, Irelia is a champion that carried me to Platinum last season. But now let's get to the video. Here is everything I will talk about in this guide. Before we dive into the in-game stuff, let's start with the preparation you should do before the game even starts, namely your runes and masteries. For me the best runes are attack speed quints and reds, armor yellows, 6 scaling CDR blues and 3 MR blues. Alternatively you could run 9 MR or even scaling MR blues depending on the enemy team comp, but the 6 CDR runes give you 10% CDR on level 18, meaning you will only need to build 30% CDR afterwards. You could also use scaling armor yellows if you are laning against an AP champion, or flat health if you play against only a single AD champ, which should usually be the AD carry. In your masteries you can either go 18-0-12 or 18-12-0, taking Feather of Battle anyways. The first option makes you a bit more tanky, the second one gives you a bit more damage, obviously. I personally almost always run the first option, but you can of course decide for yourself. You can also, of course, change a few masteries if you want to. For example, Natural Talent or Vampirism could be swapped, depending on what you like. In theory, you could go for Thunderlords as well, but you would miss out on tons of damage in mid to late game. And in my opinion, the slightly better early game is not really worth it. As your second summoner spell, the first one being Flash of course, you should either take Teleport or Ignite. In some cases, Exhaust might be an option as well. Teleport helps you in matchups in which you get bullied very hard and is useful when split pushing later into the game. Also, you can teleport gank bot lane. With Ignite, you can win winning matchups even harder, and a lot of very hard matchups can become pretty easy. You bait your enemy into a level 4 fight and win it using Ignite. There are almost no champions who can beat you here, except for those who take Ignite as well, like Pantheon for example. Exhaust kinda does the same thing, but is less powerful in the early levels, but a lot stronger late game. You can take it against champions like Yasuo, who scale insanely well into late game and could otherwise 1v1 you easily. If you are not sure what to take, Teleport is a pretty safe bet. For your starting item you can choose between Corrupting Potion, Doran's Blade, Doran's Shield or Longsword. You can never go wrong with Corrupting Potion, but sometimes you can get away with a more aggressive start. If you are very scared of the matchup you are facing, you can start Doran's Shield to be a bit more tanky. Your first big item is Trinity Force. This is core on Irelia, you get this every single game. You want to get Sheen on your first back. If you don't have enough gold for it, you should get the components of Phage first. For shoes, you want to get either Ninja Tabi or Mercury's. Mercury's only against heavy AP teams, because your 1v1 potential is greatly increased by buying Ninja Tabi. If you, for some reason, do not reach 40% CDR with your build, you should get Ionia boots instead, since the 40% is crucial on Irelia. After Trinity Force, you can either go a second damage item or go tanky straight away. For damage items, you can get pretty much anything that gives you AD or attack speed. Blade of the Ruined King is perfect if you want to split push and are against a dominant 1v1 champion like Yasuo. Maw is great if you play against heavy AP burst and are ahead. Executioner's Calling is only good against champions like Mundo, who rely on their heals to be strong. Sterak's Gage and Titanic Hydra both give you tankiness and damage, making them good options as well. Whatever you do, only build one offensive item in addition to your Triforce. Irelia does not scale with AD very well, and the damage from Trinity Force is enough to make you a threat for the enemy backline. For your defensive items, you can get pretty much whatever fits the game best. For MR items, Spirit Visage is usually your best bet, since it synergizes very well with your W healing. You can never go wrong with the Guardian Angel, since you will be diving the enemy backline most of the time, making an extra life very valuable to you. Just make sure you don't go over the 40% CDR cap with your item build. First level against melee, use skill E, against range, use skill Q. almost always. Second level, your skill, well, the skill you didn't take at level 1, and level 3, you take your W. You do not lead your W before level 3 usually, because level 2 you cannot trade anyways, but with E and Q you can stun the enemy and try to get out if he wants to trade. So that's usually the way to go. But you want to max your W first, always. There is no exception to this rule. Your role as Irelia changes a bit over the length of the game. In early to mid game, you usually just try to assassinate the squishies, like the ADCs, maybe the mid laner. If you are not behind, you should almost always be able to one-shot the enemy ADC. If you are not doing so good in the game, you can also try to just split push. You could also peel for your backline in the team fight when you are behind. Irelia's E stuns for 2 seconds at max rank, so you have some pretty reliable CC. And you also do a lot of damage, so you can just peel by killing the enemy who dives your backline. In the late game, you are getting more and more tanky, and your damage falls off. You are often still able to dive the backline, especially against immobile AD carries, but an Ezreal or an Vayne becomes a problem, because they can kite you pretty damn hard. You have a lot of true damage though, which means you are perfect for killing tanks. So you can just try and keep your ADC alive by stunning and killing the enemy frontline. This gets even more easy if you bought Blade of the Ruined King earlier. With Irelia, you want to utilize your power spikes as good as you can. The first spike is at level 4, when you have got 2 points into W and 1 point into E and Q. Your second spike is when you have gotten your Sheen, and your biggest spike is once you finish your Trinity Force. Trading on lane is pretty straightforward. Wait for an enemy ranged minion near the enemy top laner to get low enough for your Q to kill him, stun your opponent, do as much damage as you possibly can before he can start trading back, and get out. You have to make the decision if you want to Q him or Q out. It really depends. Against, for example, a Kayle, do not Q Kayle, because she will slow you, she will deal damage to you, not a good time, Q out. Against an enemy champion without crowd control and without a dash, Q him, because you get some more nice and free damage. Once you reach level 6, you want to space out your ultimate blades. Don't spam them, do 1 ult, 2 autos, 1 ult. You will always get a Trinity proc when you ult then. Trinity procs are very important on Irelia. Lots of your damage comes just from the Trinity procs, so do not underestimate them and always get a proc if you can. So, that's it for my Irelia guide. I really hope you enjoyed it and learned something. Have fun playing Irelia, the Will of the Blades.